are you seeing in your eyes, girl?
Light spots and dark spots and black spots.
And pink spots. Ooh. Well, I would expect that from you.
And polka dotted spots.
Polka dot is not, are they pink polka dots?
I can't tell.
Ooh. Huh?
Only if they're polka dot.
Huh? Hi, GenderBlenders! There's Dr. Phil back there.
Yes!
See that?
He's always been there.
Yeah, he's
It's
waiting.
his new job.
Yeah, he's waiting for us. He says, get a move on. Hi, GenderBlenders. Welcome to week 158. And this week's question is all about travel. Plan on going anywhere in the near future that may require air travel. What if you were in Canada? Check out the link, and there's a Huffington Post article that we're going to be talking about in this video. And what do you think about the new regulations, and how would you feel if they were in the U.S.?
Let's not go into that.
So here's our little things for air travel and things like that. It's called a passport.
Yes. Yes.
But
and we have them, and that is our government's way of identifying who we are. And
just like Canada.
Yeah.
So it's got my picture on it. And it says F on it. See? Sex. I failed sex.
Not my gender, because they'll think that you're just some kind of a dummy going in there.
Right.
They don't let dummies in Canada.
That's true. It's a very interesting article, though, isn't it? Because there's a lot of stuff going on there.
Oh, at least you didn't say things.
That's right. I didn't say things. I
You did stuff.
Oh. And
new word?
That's a new word. See, I'm expanding my horizons.
Ooh, another big word.
Yeah. But you know, a lot of times some things can be agendas, and this article may be one of them. And you know, we have a situation, whether we like it or not, you know, with terrorism and things like that. It's sometimes I think we have to present ourselves as who we are, don't we?
I believe that how you present yourself is how your documentation should read. And if you are representing yourself as the gender that you are, and your documentation matches, then there does not seem to be any issues with this article.
Right, and isn't that what the lady from the transportation board
right,
said?
and I mean that's what I was looking at. Well, as she stated here, to comply with the identity screening regulations, the airlines in Canada, the same way as they are here in the United States, must have procedures allowing them to identify all passengers by using their official, as Stephe was showing here, hers, and I have one as well, their official documentation, recognized by their country's government authorities. The government authorities here recognize Stephe and I as being Stephe is Stephe and me as being Stephanie, and recognize us both as being female. And we present ourselves as female. So there is no issue. So there would not be an issue with the Canadian Airlines. Right. You have got to look at things realistically.
Yeah.
There are things that are put in place to protect us, and I'm sure that's the same way in Canada. There are still other critical reasons and things that you can nitpick on, and so on and so forth. But I think the only thing I'm stating here is that if you are looking for trouble, you're going to find it. If you go on an airlines and you are representing yourself as being female, and your documentation says that you are male, then you're in trouble. If you go in there and you say, my name is Sarah Lou, and yet they turn around and look at your documentation says you're Edward Nutberry, guess what? If you're looking for trouble, you're going to find trouble. So, you know, there are certain things
Well, it's what
that
that's,
you have to apply common sense to.
yeah, what that says is really there's an order in which you need to do. And when you're first starting your transition, no, you're not going to look very good as the gender that you know you are. We all know that.
Correct. But you're also not going to have your documentation changed over yet or anything else. So you're not going to be going on to an airline and trying to pass yourself off as being something you are not complete.
So early on in transition, before you get your documentation done, then you're going to travel as that gender.
Correct.
How else are they going to be able to know you? How else are they going to know that you're the person that you say you are?
Correct. How are they going to protect you against terrorists?
Right.
Don't go in there with an old scruffy-looking, haven't shaved in 5 days beard and hair, and you've never done anything to your face whatsoever to make yourself look feminine at all. And you're basically going in there looking masculine and just expecting them to take your word for it that you're female. I have an issue with that. That's just the way I am. Maybe other people are not. And I do support the LGBT community. But I think that there are rules and there are things that we all need to protect ourselves.
Now, here's another thought that you can do to be able to help alleviate that. Because one of the questions is what if you were going somewhere in the near future?
Yeah.
If you do have any doubts about whether you're going to get hassled at the airports because you're transitioning, and we all have that fear, I think, get yourself a letter from your doctor. It says, this person is going through a transition from X to Y. Okay? You got that letter.
Mm-hmm.
And that ought to be enough. Now, if you still get hassled at the airport, now you got a case.
Yeah. There are people who don't transition. I can totally understand people who don't transition. Because there are those who don't have to transition. At that point in time, if you're not transitioning and you are not passable, you run that risk if you try to cross boundaries that you shouldn't be crossing. Because all transitioning is a decision. It doesn't mean that you're not a transgender person. It doesn't mean that you're not a transsexual if that's how you identify yourself. Because one's in a box of mixed variables, mixed identities, and the other one is a person who is outside of the box, which is a transsexual. That does not fit into the transgender category because he is has a precise condition. And plain simple, if you go to all of that work to have your documentation changed, to go and have, the HRT and get the injections and shots and stuff like that, and to, prove that you are and everything else. Why are you trying to prove that you're something and you don't even care about how it is that you physically appear? There are some of us. I mean, there are people who go into and get caught up in fires. And when they get caught up in those fires, they end up with burns on their faces and so on and so forth. They're not going to match their documentation. There's going to be questions about that. There are all kinds of reasons and excuses that people can give one another for, the issues that they have regarding how they look and their appearance. But that, I don't think, is what they're saying here. When you look at the regulations as they are set forth and the way that they read, okay, this applies to all passengers, not just to transgenders, because it says that even states here that by the government authority, this approach applies to all passengers regardless of their culture, religion, or sexual orientations. Plain and simple, I don't know how much clearer that could be read. Because it doesn't just apply to you, it applies to everyone.
That's right.
It is not right for any airline to demand that you prove that you're who you are because in your picture it says that you're a brunette and now you're a redhead. Or in my case, a pinkhead.
Yeah.
But still, if you're really going to drastically change your appearance,
yeah,
change your documentation too.
yeah.
The first chance you get. So, I think that's important. So,
see, my hair's a lot longer than it was in my passport picture.
that's you?
That is, well, that's what the claim is.
Yeah. So, see, that's the kind of thing that you're going to run into.
That's exactly right.
So,
where do you
and
draw the line?
believe it or not, that's why I did it. So, it's a wonderful, wonderful idea for us to all worry about protecting each other, and for us to all know that there are rules in place that do protect us. There's a reason for them.
Yep.
No, when the United States was first trespassed against back in 9/11, Canada was the obvious next target for getting into the United States, because people were crossing the borders here and yon. They didn't even need to have a passport or identification. So Canada passed a ruling as well, which has been in effect since 2010, since August of 2010.
That's right.
That
And
protects
this is
not
what
only
you
their
see.
passengers, but protects us and protects us from them and them from us, so that there are proper ways of doing things and other ways that you should not. So I agree with Stephe. If you are having an issue with your appearance and you've been working on that, but you haven't gotten anything, you haven't been that successful at it, get yourself some medical documentation to carry along with you. That provides the information necessary for them to understand what it is that you're going through.
The other, by the way, with respect to travel, the one thing that has nothing to do with this article exactly, but one thing to keep in mind, if you are doing travel, make sure you have your medication with you, and you have that documented as well. But you know what you don't find on airlines?
And I cannot figure this out, because they ought to be, shouldn't they?
Subway sandwiches.
Oh, our sponsor, by the way. Yes.
Delicious Subway sandwiches.
Yes.
Eat fresh.
And in fact, Subway's got a thing going on right now. You can eat Subway and
drink a
Diet Coke. And they
will donate some money
to the
heart research, or was it breast cancer? Or
Breast Cancer Association
like
for breast preventativeness. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be our sponsor for the day as well. So although I don't like that, because I'm still working on them, they need to put some pink in their Subway.
Right.
So, but in any case, wonderful issue, wonderful question, wonderful article. There's a lot there, a lot presented on both sides of the park, as far as the issues and stuff are concerned. But plain and simple, we have to use and apply common sense to what we do, and we also expect our government to do the same thing.
Exactly.
And apply common sense to what it is they do to protect us. Until next time, my name is Stephanie.
I'm Steffi.
We'll see you. Bye.
Bye-bye.